Honesty, passion, experience. It's Timberwolves Explosion, hosted on the Paladino Live Network. And now, your host, Paladino Joey. Hello again, Timberwolves fans. Are you ready for the explosion of Timberwolves basketball? I am your host, Paladino Joey, or Joey Awajan. Timberwolves Explosion is available on all of your favorite podcasting apps, and I thank each and every one of you once and always for downloading and listening to this show. It is a great pleasure to be back on board with you once again today. Minnesota Timberwolves, well, I hope you had a wonderful Christmas. The Timberwolves looked like they weren't going to have a good Christmas. Then it looked like they were going to have a wonderful one. And then extreme frustration. Oh my God, that was the most frustrating back and forth I've ever seen. The Denver Nuggets have officially surpassed the, Well, we'll get back to that in a little bit. But the Timberwolves go 3-1 this week, almost swept the board because the Timberwolves actually beat the Oklahoma City Thunder. That was amazing. But they end up blowing the very last one on Christmas Day. It was a nice run. The Timberwolves got to 20-10 and wound up being 20-11. So, yay. God, that was frustrating. But yeah, like I said, last Friday, very exciting. A lot of us thought, well, maybe the Wolves would compete in this one and it'd be a nice back and forth, but probably come up short, kind of like the freaking Denver game. But at the end of the day, it was, a win for the Timberwolves. What do you think of that? The Timberwolves gave the Oklahoma City Thunder one of their rare losses this season. Oh man, that felt good. Otherwise, we got 4 games to review, 3 games to preview and wrap up the year, and I get to say Happy New Year. I'm real excited about New Year's. Now, Christmas will always be better than New Year's for me, always. I don't think I'm in the minority on that, but then again, at work, it's probably the polar opposite. A lot of people are always, Happy New Year, and then it's like, have a nice holiday. Merry Christmas to you too. Come on, guys. That drives me nuts. But, it does. I don't know. We don't need to get into that conversation. I've probably mentioned it too many times on this show. That's why I have like 14 listeners left. But, it's annoying. Timberwolves beat the Knicks. The Timberwolves beat the Bucks. They played with their food a bit with that one, but still got the job done. That reeked of a trap game. Beating the Knicks felt awfully good. Otherwise, you have Brooklyn, Chicago, and Atlanta kind of going to the East here. Though the Brooklyn game will be at home. The Wolves then head to Chicago and Atlanta for some classic, I don't know, to me it's like an early 90s vibe, Chicago and Atlanta. You think of Michael Jordan, Dominique Wilkins, all those guys. Oh, so cool, Late 80s, early 90s, you think of, those guys. And when you think of it, especially the Hawks, because it's like, I don't know, I always was a big fan of the Hawks. Dominique Wilkins, an all-time favorite for me. Obviously Michael, yes. But they won championships, and they were on everything. They were on every Sports Illustrated. They were on every, channel basically all the time. Like, the Bulls. And the Hawks kind of were always pushed to the side because of the Celtics, the Pistons, and the Bulls. And then later on, Lakers and stuff. Yay. And the Lakers in the 80s too. So that was the other reason. But like I say, in the Eastern Conference, kind of pushed to the side because of the Celtics and eventually the Pistons and Bulls. So that was a bummer. But yes, I do like the Hawks. I've had hats, but mostly the retro Hawks. The current team it's what it is. It is what it is, guys. The Bulls and the Hawks constantly flirting around in the play-in. The Wolves hoping to not be in the play-in, and the way they've been playing, I don't think they would be in the play-in. But I don't know, that Denver game kind of like, I don't know, you kind of had them, and then you didn't, and it was the most stupid bullcrap ever. But we'll get back to that later. Should I make the statement now or later? I'll say it now, and I'll probably talk about it later, too. The Denver Nuggets have officially surpassed the Golden State Warriors as my least favorite NBA team. Bleep the Denver Nuggets. Seriously, it's official. Like, Golden State, they're right there. They could easily take that crown again. And I know you care so much about who I despise in the NBA. I know you care. I'm just kidding, but still want to. Still thought I'd run that by you anyway. And maybe you agree. I mean, maybe they're your least favorite team. I hate the Denver Nuggets. Oklahoma City, obviously they're knocking on the door of that as well. 26-5 because they can't beat the Spurs. They're 0-3 versus the Spurs, including another loss on them on Christmas Day, but also losing to the Minnesota Timberwolves, one of their 5 losses. I believe that would be their third loss of the year. They'd only lost 2 games, and then they lost to the Spurs twice this past week. Pretty crazy. This is on Friday, the 19th of December. Entertaining game to say the least. Shea had 35, and he got to the free throw line 8. Well, he attempted 8 free throws. He didn't get to the line 8 times. He got to the line 4 times, basically, right? That would make more sense. Chris Finch, pretty early on, ejected, getting sick of the BS. I mean, this team gets so many damn calls, and he was getting sick of it. And then at the end of the day, who shot more free throws? The Timberwolves. Oklahoma City, 28 of 30. That's pretty crazy. Almost like 100%. That's crazy. The Wolves shot 47, but only made 33 of them, which is really annoying. Like, way to capitalize, guys. Otherwise, the Wolves might have actually won by a wider margin. They ended up winning by 5. 70% at the free throw line were the Wolves. The Oklahoma City Thunder were 93.3. 70.2%. Like, woof. Guys, those are free points. I mean, and I know free throws are, they get in your head because it's kind of that middle range type of shot, and it's just kind of you in the rim, and I don't know, other distractions that could happen, but it's kind of just you in the rim, and you get a little bit, who knows, I mean, people struggle at the free throw line. That's not news. Rob Dillingham with a really odd box score, I will say. 12 minutes, 0 for 4 from the floor, 0 points, but he somehow got 6 rebounds and 3 assists. That's a lot of rebounds, and then he also had 4 fouls, which is really weird. Shannon, only 5 minutes. He's been playing kind of oft injured throughout the season, which is annoying. Gobert, 14 rebounds in the game. Anthony Edwards, clutch when it mattered for the most part. 26 points for him. 9 of 20, which isn't that spectacular, but 3 of 6 from downtown, including 12 rebounds. 12 huge rebounds as the Wolves' defense ended up getting the job done versus the Oklahoma City Thunder, and my God, did it feel good. Oh, it was special. Nice chemistry with Anthony Edwards and Bones Highland, generally speaking, and they definitely have a very excitable vibe, to say the least. Would have been nice to have Jalen Clark out there, but he's been banged up, which is annoying. Conley, age and injury and all that stuff. Leonard Miller never gets in games for whatever reason. Ju Zhang, same thing. JJ, no, and then of course Joe Ingles. He's pretty much the inbounder, and the Udonis Haslem at age 40, basically. That type of thing vibe. McDaniels didn't shoot particularly well. A lot of guys really didn't. The Wolves generally shot 37.5%. That's crap. 35% from three-point range, which is about average in today's league, I guess. Even the Oklahoma City Thunder, 37%. Again, good defense by the Wolves. And they went cold from outside, them being the Thunder, 28.2% from downtown. 10 rebounds for Hardenstein. Again, 10 tough guy, blue-collar rebounds for him. But only 1 point. He made 1 free throw. Wolves denied him the ball, which is nice. Holmgren only had 9 attempts as well. Shea, 26 attempts. But again, he shot okay. He was good, 46%, and then 43% from downtown. But guys like Dort and such just didn't help. Dort made a fourth of his shots, actually, at the end of the day. Not a good day for him. Caruso couldn't really hit the broadside of a barn either, 1 of 6 from downtown. So, again, a combination of good defense by the Wolves and just cold shooting by the Thunder when it mattered most, and the Timberwolves emerged victorious over the Oklahoma City Thunder, and oh my God, that was exciting. Absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome. The Timberwolves beat the Thunder 112-107. A very weird score, but a win nonetheless, and my God, that was fun. Definitely the signature win of the season, and the Timberwolves could have had 2 signature wins in the same week if the Timberwolves could have finished off Denver after going up 9 points in overtime. Yeah. I mean, it was a borderline miracle the Timberwolves came back. Where were we down by like 16 points in the fourth quarter? Somehow they come back and, force overtime on Anthony Edwards' clutch shot, and he misses. He misses. No, the Wolves just all of a sudden couldn't make anything, and then once again the stupid Nuggets couldn't miss like most of the game earlier. Oh, that pissed me off. I'm already getting into the Denver game. Bucks game, it's like, is there much to say? The Wolves just kind of screwed around, kind of like they did with the Kings when I was in attendance, and emerged victorious by a lousy 3 points. The Wolves lost to the Bucks last year when they had like 4 players out. That was fun. Similar here. I mean, no Giannis. Like, what are you doing, guys? No Thanasis either. Thanasis. Both of them. Well, Thanasis just didn't play, whereas the Greek freak Giannis did not play because of injury. Gary Trent Jr. has had his ups and downs throughout his career. He's been a starter, a sharpshooter, and now he's back to kind of being a rotation player, only 2 of 11 from the floor. That's all she wrote. A couple threes, 2 of 11 from the floor, 2 of 7 overall from three-point range. Kevin Porter Jr. with 24 points in the starting role. Good job for him. Portis, Bobby with 16. But again, the Bucks didn't shoot particularly well, only 40% from the floor. Just kind of bleeping around. Nothing to brag about from the Bucks. Wolves also 42% from the floor. It's kind of an ugly game, kind of like Vikings and Giants around the same time, I think. Yep. I mean, it was a weird game. Yeah, it was Sunday. It was kind of similar to that Viking-Giants game, where it's like, this is kind of crappy. What's going on? But yet the Wolves had their full roster. Vikings obviously McCarthy broke his hand during the course of the game, a hairline fracture. And I don't know, Vikings were already out of the playoff contention, yet now they're winning games like crazy. Great for the draft, I guess. Not at all. Jaden McDaniels, not a single point, and banged up, only played basically 9 minutes in the game. Julius Randle, only 12 points. I'm not sure what's going on there. DiVincenzo, much better, 7 of 11 from outside, 4 of 8 from outside, 7 of 11 overall. Nice. 24 for Anthony Edwards, did not shoot well, under 30%. Pathetic, 2 of 11 from downtown. And I don't know, the Wolves kind of played with their food here and were missing shots, but then ended up finishing off the Bucks when they needed to. Wolves trailed in this game for extended periods, and it was annoying. It was just a BS game, but thankfully the Wolves survived by 3 measly points against the Bucks in Tarjay. Staying in Tarjay, the Timberwolves would host the New York Knicks on Christmas Eve. New York Knicks with a slightly better record than the Wolves dropped their 9th game of the year against the Wolves. Yay. They would later then beat the Cleveland Cavaliers on Christmas Day. Merry Christmas, New York, I guess. Karl-Anthony Towns with 40 versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. It became a duel between Karl-Anthony Towns and Anthony Edwards. Kind of like back in the day with Garnett and Marbury, where both of them shot way too much. In Anthony Edwards' case, though, I mean, to score 38 points at 27 shots is pretty good. 55.6%. 4 of 10 from downtown. This was higher quality than, say, when the New Jersey Nets came to town, and Garnett and Marbury were shooting the ball about 50 times in that game. That was Marbury's first return with the Nets. It was New Jersey Nets, of course. You notice I didn't say Brooklyn. That was interesting. That was an interesting game. Of course, Marbury got the best of us in that one, and that was really annoying because the Nets were not good. But Marbury he had the better game. Garnett kind of wasn't as clutch in that one as you would like, and it was very frustrating. But in this one, in this case, it's not like people are booing Karl-Anthony Towns. There's no reason to boo him. He didn't ask to be traded. He didn't make a jerk of himself. He wasn't a complete a-hole off the court like Marbury was pretty much the whole time he was here, and after he was here too. He's not a nice guy. Karl-Anthony Towns, highly regarded as a very nice person everywhere he goes. God bless Karl-Anthony Towns, and Merry Christmas to him. Generally speaking, and of course, Garnett, nice to the fans, cantankerous, kind of with other people, I guess, behind the scenes. Not always the nicest guy, but generally nice to fans, generally. Marbury was just a jerk all the time, no matter who you were, what you were, unless you were basically one of his homies, basically, or whatever term you might use. Just an ass, Nobody, that's why Marbury got booed the heck out of him. Booed the heck out, when he came back with the Nets years later. Also, the way he left, just a complete jerk. Like, bleep your team, I'm out of here. I'm going back to the New York area, basically. Eventually did wind up with the Knicks. And they probably didn't like him either when all that was said and done. He was pretty much bought out and kicked out. And sucks to be him. Great game, back and forth. Sorry for triggering that old memory. This kind of brought that back, though. Again, but no real hate involved in this one. No real hate involved in this one. It's just it's a nice back and forth. It was a nice back and forth. 2 players, showing up and playing great basketball. And again, there's no There was no hatred between these two, but I'm sure the competitive nature, they want to win. They both want to win the game. It means a lot. I mean, the Knicks blew the crap out of us a few times, and then we beat them as well a few times. And thankfully, the Wolves victorious in this one. Feels a million times better getting this victory. I'm sure a lot of people fear that maybe the Wolves wouldn't win this one, but luckily it worked out. I kind of thought the Wolves might lose to the Nuggets and the Thunder. Well, they lost to the Nuggets, but they did beat the Thunder and somehow escaped a trap game with the Bucks, and a pretty epic performance in a lot of ways. You could say this was the feature presentation because, well, even though Jokic and Ant were pretty spectacular on Christmas Day, despite Anthony Edwards having a sore shoulder, spectacular performance, including that clutch three. But this one, well, at least the Wolves won and all of that. I don't know. And it was too many runs, too, in the Denver game. Like, the Wolves were not playing well at all in certain stretches, including the final stretch, which was maddening beyond belief. Dante DiVincenzo with 8 assists against the New York Knicks, and that was a lot of fun. Rudy Gobert's been rebounding the F out of the ball lately. 16 here. What did he have? 14 in the last game against Milwaukee. Obviously, he's a mediocre offensive player in Rudy Gobert's case. Yeah, it's like he'd dunk over us, but at the NBA level, it's not been all that spectacular offensively for most of his career, to say the least. Naz Reid kind of going back to like about 33% from the floor. Not a good game at all. 3 of 12, 2 of 9 from downtown. Bones Highland had some moments here and there, but generally speaking, not the best shooting night. 30% for old Bones, but 4 assists along the way. Clark was back. That's great. Not particularly great numbers, but then again, 3 assists. He's a more than capable playmaker, and obviously other stuff that doesn't show up on the stat sheet all so often. Naz Reid did chip in 11 rebounds, though, and that does not go unnoticed by yours truly. Nice win. Just fun, entertaining basketball between the Knicks and Timberwolves. It's going to be like this probably for years and years and years. And yes, a lot of people are like, oh, the Wolves and the Denver Nuggets. That's kind of our feature presentation, as much as I don't want to call it that. I really don't. It should be the Thunder game, and it really was, because the Wolves beat the Thunder. But I'm not even going to play the feature presentation, because I don't know, this pissed me off. Pretty much most of the way the Denver Nuggets had control. Like a small lead leading into halftime, and then the third quarter, things looked very south. And then the Wolves, again, an amazing comeback in that fourth quarter. Just kept chipping away, and then like, my God, we might actually have a shot at this thing. No, it's not going to happen. They're down by X amount of points now. Oh, my God, they are going to. Anthony Edwards just hit the shot. Oh, my God. It's like the Wolves just could not regain the lead. They just couldn't do it. Their last lead was like sometime in the second quarter, late in the second quarter. And then, oh, my God, they just tied it up. And then, wow, all the momentum's on our side. This is unbelievable. Like earlier in the game, Jokic just couldn't miss. 56 freaking points. Can't miss from mid-range and can't miss from, here and there. And then Wolves take that 9-point lead, and you think, oh, my God, we are going to win this thing. And then, of course, Jokic squares up from 3 and makes it. Bleep you. And you could just feel everything changing right there. Jokic would make another one. And then frickin' Murray, who'd had his ups and downs throughout the game, those catch-and-shoot threes are enough to make you want to, make you want to literally blow up the TV screen or whatever you're watching. Like, it was so maddening. It was so maddening. I just wanted to go insane. I was absolutely snapping and losing my mind. Those catch-and-shoot threes by Jamal Murray. I can't stand the dude. 9 of 18 from 3-point range, 12 of 32 overall. He was clanging and missing all over the place. But then down that stretch, Wolves trailing by 9, and everything frickin' changed. I was just F you, bleep, 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 like bleep, 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 bleep. It was like, it was so frickin' maddening. And the frickin' Cyclops, Joakim Noah. What am I talking about? Jokic. Nikola Jokic. Joakim Noah. My brain is going crazy here because of this stupid frickin' game. Couldn't miss anything. The son of a gun couldn't miss anything, including his god darn free throws. 22 of 23. Are you kidding me? Get out of here. He couldn't miss anything. It was so frustrating, those mid-range shots, the 3-point shots. I'm cursing my head. I'm probably sorry for how I'm talking right now. But it was the most maddening, irritating, frustrating, frickin' overtime I've ever seen. You go up by 9 after making a spectacular comeback, hitting one of the most clutch shots you'll ever see. A fall-away three from the corner. As the clock was, getting close to expiring. It was 1 second left when he hit it. Him being Anthony Edwards. Delivering on Santa Claus delivering on Christmas. And then all the momentum's on your side. You score 9 points right out of the gate. 3 minutes left. It's like, okay, that is a lot of time, but you hope you can recover. Okay, yeah, of course, frickin' Cyclops. Now it's a 6-point game, but you're still up by 6, right? You can make it right back to 8 or even 9. But that just never happened. Everything just went downhill. Stupid frickin' Jamal Murray and his stupid frickin' catch and shoot threes, and it's just everything went down the toilet. And the Wolves lost. Yeah, the Wolves lost the game. Denver Nuggets, you have successfully crossed over into they have officially dethroned the Golden State Warriors, who have been over a decade my least favorite team in the NBA. Over a decade. Talking about 2014-ish, I was already disliking them. I actually was rooting for the Spurs in that second round series before their quote-unquote dynasty started. Yeah, I was like, I don't like these guys. They're cocky, they're annoying, and good. I'm glad the Spurs beat them. It was kind of like that, even though we were all tired of the Spurs at that point. They'd won enough titles, and go away. We were all tired of them. But yeah. It's been over a decade. Denver has officially crossed over now. Denver has dethroned the Golden State Warriors as my official least liked team in the league. Oh, but Golden State's still right there. Don't get me wrong. And obviously they're not going to last for forever. They're going to get old. The Warriors, they're already old, but they're going to finally go away one of these days. And I'm sure the Nuggets aren't going to last forever either, because nobody does. But man, it'll be nice when that's over too, because. How can you stand them? It's so annoying. Their fan base is obnoxious. Jamal Murray plays with like a chip on his shoulder that it gets to a point like you just want to punch him in the face. I can't stand him. And Jokic, he's a nice person, classy guy, respectful of our team, but the son of a gun doesn't miss. He doesn't miss, and it's beyond frustrating. Oh, he doesn't miss. It's just ridiculous. And I'm watching replays and stuff, and I'm getting pissed off right now seeing it. Ugh, Jamal Murray, I hate you. Ugh. Can't stand him. As a rival, obviously I'm not looking for real hatred towards anybody in real life, but fan to player, whatever, podcast host to player, I hate you, Jamal Murray. Ooh. Yes. Anyhow, the Wolves lost 142-138 in an overtime back and forth battle with the Denver bleeping Nuggets, the Denver crap Nuggets. 44 points for Anthony Edwards despite a sore shoulder, 14 of 25, and again, extremely clutch down the stretch. But then it felt like we were, the off and on problem in this game when the Wolves would fall down by 10, 15, whatever, was too many three-point attempts. Dante DiVincenzo, 0 of 7 from three-point range. 0 of 7, 2 of 11 eventually, or 2 of 11 overall. He hadn't made a bleeping shot until late. So he finally did something. He wound up with 6 points and 2 of 11 overall and 0 of 7 from downtown. Make 2 more? How about 2 of 7? The Wolves win there. Of course, Gobert missed one of his free throws late when we needed it so much. Of course, he fouled out. Of course, it felt like the refs were favoring the Nuggets because they probably were. It sure felt that way. Terrence Shannon couldn't make anything. 0 of 3. I'm sick of it. Do something, Shannon. What happened to you? Seriously. And if he's so injured, put him on the bleeping reserve or something and, come back when you're ready. I'm tired of this crap. You can't rely on any, some of these guys, you just can't rely on them. Where last year you could. Tired of this crap. Conley's 90 years old, and he was a minus 15. Minus 15. Jalen Clark, only 5 minutes. Could have used a little help there. I don't know if he's banged up or what the problem is. Rocco Zolkarski. Else has 0 minutes, so I'm not sure what's going on there. Did he step on the floor for like 1 second or what? Jaden McDaniels, pretty damn good. 21 points and 9 of 12 from the floor. Only 1 3. Didn't really attempt many, obviously. He had some open attempts, and he ended up kind of driving a little bit and passing. Did wind up with 4 assists in the game. He had some open shots. I'm surprised he didn't take some of those. 9 of 12 from the floor. Why? I don't know. Maybe he should have taken some of those. Randall, 12 of 22. Really good, generally speaking, but down the stretch, felt like he kind of fell apart down the stretch. Just those bleeping turnovers. And Anthony Edwards some bleeping turnovers as well. He actually had 6 total in the game. 3 assists, 6 turnovers. That's not a good ratio at all. 9 more assists for Donnie DiVincenzo. So despite shooting like dog poop, assist to ratio here 8-0. Awesome. That's like Conley in his prime right there. 8-0. Just if he only could have made some more, made like 2 more shots or something, might have changed momentum in the right direction or staved off Denver's runs down the stretch. But guess what? It just didn't happen. Randall obviously great throughout the game, but down the stretch he was not great. Missing some shots. Very frustrating. Only 2 of 7, and again, a 3 that needed to be made. Randall would have some good moments, again, throughout the game, and ones and such. But, again, down the stretch, it just did not happen. He was not making what he needed to. And Anthony, obviously was clanging a lot of threes. Other than that huge clutch one, 5 of 14 is not going to get it done either. Simply not. Three-point percentage was 26.7%, basically 27. Overall field goal percentage was 49. But, yeah, that's what it was. Like, Denver was making everything, and then they got cold suddenly in the fourth quarter and the early part of overtime, and then everything just went right back to Denver was making everything again. 44% from three-point range, and I don't know. It's despite having that ice-cold stretch, they still wound up with 44%. So, God, that was frustrating. Really frustrating. Like, again, like, it was just that kind of game. And that obnoxious Aaron Gordon was even out there, and he's another one of those guys who hits 3 after 3 after 3, and it's so annoying. And the fan base is so loud and so obnoxious, and they're always up in your, always up in the Wolves' face, doing hand gestures and stuff. Like, just go away. Seriously. Obnoxious. It's one thing if it was like the Boston fan base. They had all those championships back in the day. People got annoyed with them a little bit, but again, they had championships. They had banners in the freaking, rafters. Denver's got 1, and they act like they've got like 8 or 9. Like, come on, people. They're the fan base. So that's enough to drive someone bananas. So we'll be rooting against Denver, against just about anybody. And if it's Golden State, Denver, it might just turn the TV off. But I don't think those two will be tipping off in the postseason because, I don't know, I don't know if Golden State will make it, but even if they do, they might be knocked out pretty early in the play-in, which is fine by me. I'll be looking forward to Denver being knocked out in the play-in someday again as their window starts to close. Hopefully not too far from now. We shall see how that turns out. But Jokic, right now, he can't miss, and Murray is obnoxious. Ugh. Would have been nice if he was on the Wolves, though, all those years ago instead of Chris stinking Dunn. Would have been nice. But unfortunately, Timberwolves made the wrong pick in that draft. We also had the wrong choice at the president of basketball operations at the time as well. You all know who he is. So, with that said, the Lone Wolf Award winner has to go to Anthony Edwards. Obviously, again, he wasn't perfect. He had some icky games. But generally speaking, Anthony Edwards definitely clutch, spectacular, some wonderful moments. Some huge moments. Going toe-to-toe with Karl Anthony Towns despite playing different positions. But, kind of, like a game of can you top this? And then this one to come up short, frustrating as all hell, but still was spectacular at moments. Far from perfect, but spectacular in big moments despite playing hurt as well in Anthony Edwards' case. The Johnny Flynn Memorial is Terrence Shannon Jr. I mean, hello. Donnie DiVincenzo shot like dog poop during this past week. He shot like garbage. But 8 assists, no turnovers, stuff like that. How could I give him a Johnny Flynn Memorial? It's Terrence Shannon Jr. Come on, man. Are you ever going to be right? Like, what happened? It's so frustrating to see him drop off as much as he has. Extremely frustrating. Like, a little help here. Little help would be nice. Terrence Shannon Jr., Johnny Flynn Memorial. With that, we'll take a quick break, look at the upcoming games, and wish you a happy new year. A little whoop-de-doo. we are back here on Timberwolves Explosion. Upcoming games. I can calm down a little bit. Of course, I'm hitting the wrong button, which messes everything up. The Brooklyn Nets, 9-19. 9-19, the Brooklyn Nets on the Yes Network. Well, yes, it's going to be the No Network because the Wolves are going to win, right? I hope. You better win this game. It's in Target Center. Win the game, guys. Just win, okay? Please. Because they say in Rocky, just win, baby. Pretty much. Brooklyn Nets, Timberwolves. We haven't played this year, have we? We have. That's right. Back in early November, 125-109. You know, I mean, I've watched so many Timberwolves games for so many years. You know what I mean? If you've been watching, you know, your team play for like 35 years or so, you're gonna get years mixed up and such. It just happens. 125-109, nice win for the Timberwolves back in early November. This is, of course, the rubber match, and I got to think the Timberwolves will sweep this series, and they better. Brooklyn Nets have won 2 in a row, though. Watch out. Toronto Maple Leafs. No, they beat the Toronto Raptors 96-81. Must have had a lot of injuries there for Toronto because 81 points, and they're having a great season. Philadelphia is all over the place. They're a team that should probably be atop the East and competing for an NBA championship. But, you know, I mean, they can't stay healthy. They just can't. It's against the rules in Philadelphia to stay healthy, I guess. And Brooklyn beat them recently, which is pretty crazy. They've been, they're 3 out of their last 5. They beat the Bucks 127-82. Dang, that is crazy. Only 9 wins all season, and that's 1/3 of them right there in that little 5-game stretch. It's crazy stuff. Comparisons, no, injury report first. Terrence Shannon Jr. day-to-day. Yeah, I'm sick of it. Like, get healthy, damn it. Foot injury, you know, I am sick of it. Zion pulling wrist for the Wolves right around this Christmas couple days here. Brooklyn Nets, we'll see if there's multiple. Drake Powell, shooting guard, ankle, injured reserve. That's probably where Terrence Shannon should be. If he's hurt so bad, put him on the injured reserve and let him heal. You know, if he's hurt so bad. Otherwise, get your head out of your ass, Terrence. I'm getting sick of it. Anyhow, yes, I'm getting frustrated. Can you tell maybe just a little bit? You know, just a little bit. Yes. Keon Johnson, day-to-day knee, December 26th. Scotty Lindsay, day-to-day knee, December 26th. Young C. Kui, day-to-day knee. Is there an echo? December the 26th. Yep, there is an echo. Injured reserve guys. Drake Powell, ankle, December the 18th. Cam Thomas, shooting guard. Injured reserve hamstring, November 5th. Ouch. Haywood Highsmith. Rolls right off your tongue. Injured reserve knee, October 19th. That does not sound good. It does not. No sarcasm involved there. Comparisons. Joey, come on, wake up. Offense. Timberwolves 11th. Nets 29th. Field goal percentage. Wolves 12th. Nets 28th. 3-point percentage. Wolves 10th. Nets 23rd. Wolves are ahead in everything, basically. 3 points made, except 3-pointers made. That figures. Nets 7th. Wolves 12th. Total rebounds. Wolves 14th. Nets are 19th. What the heck? Turnovers. The Wolves are 12th. Okay, above average. And the Nets are down to 27. Almost 15 a game, or over 15 a game. Block shots. The Wolves are 6th all of a sudden. That's been going up because Rudy Gobert's been playing very well. The Nets are 25th. Assist to turnover ratio, the Wolves are 11th. Thank you, Donnie DiVincenzo. That's why he did not get any Donnie Flynn, despite shooting like crap. The Nets are 23rd in assist to ratio. Look at the team a little bit. Obviously, injuries all over the place. Michael Porter Jr. Yeah, I get it mixed up. Michael Porter, Kevin Porter. Yeah, Kevin Porter's on the, the Bucks. Michael Porter Jr. is averaging 25, almost 26 points a game. Cam Thomas, who's been out for a while, he was averaging over 21. Nick Claxton, 13.6, adding about 8 rebounds. I don't know, that should be higher. 1.3 blocks. I believe he's the lead blocker. Yes, they don't block a lot of shots there in Brooklyn. Noah Clowney also adding just about a block a game, 13 points. Yeah, the rebounds and the blocks are definitely lacking in Brooklyn. Like, what the heck? It's just kind of a funky team. Porter Jr. is at about 7.5 rebounds. A very winnable game. The Wolves need to get the job done, and the Wolves will win this basketball game. in my opinion, by a final score along the likes of let's say 115 to 103. Bulls win by 12 over the Brooklyn Nets. Who's the next opponent? That would be the Bulls. The Bulls. Okay, so the Brooklyn game is Saturday night. Saturday night, as the old 70s song goes. Monday night, thankfully, some of us will be off. Some of us. This will be, of course, in Chicago, United Center, the house that Michael Jordan built. And if you don't think Michael Jordan built that house, get out of here. Michael Jordan not only built the United Center, he built the Bulls. Okay, just kidding. But again, with the exception of a couple stretches here and there, particularly Derrick Rose before he tore his ACL, pulling up for a shot in a Eastern Conference game, if I remember correctly. Or no, it was a first round game the next year. Pardon me. Eastern Conference Finals, they lost to the Heat. The Heat were ready to roll there, beating them in only 5. But despite that nice season with Thibodeau and Rose and such, the Bulls have not been good without Michael Jordan. They pretty much haven't. They've been one of the teams that hangs around a little bit, and that's about it. They've had a couple up and down years. 2-game series. The Wolves have not played Chicago yet, and of course Zach LaVine is no longer there with that infamous Jimmy Butler trade all those years ago. Now, this is the season opener between the two teams, if it's okay to use that term. Monday night at 7. And the season finale will be in Target Center on January 22nd. The Bulls have won 4 in a row, beating Cleveland and Atlanta twice. Nice. So classic kind of, like here we go back to the early 90s again. Cleveland, late 80s, early 90s. Jordan with a shot on Elo. And, of course, Cleveland getting to the 92 Eastern Conference Finals in Atlanta. Classic Bulls, Hawks, or whoever, the Pacers and Hawks. Oh, man, and I love those old orange Cavaliers uniforms back in the day, like, Craig Elo, all those guys, Mark Price, Larry Nance, man, obviously the Hawks with Kevin Willis and Dominique and Spud and Doc Rivers. God bless him as a player. Whatever, get off of Doc Rivers, Joey, right? But, 4 in a row for the Bulls, so they're right under 500 despite the 4-game win streak. So kind of like the Nets. They've been hot lately, and it's making the record look like a little better. Pretty crappy record, generally speaking, because they're still below 500. What the heck? I don't understand it. Injury report for the Bulls. Out for the season, Jordan Bell, the center, knee. So that sounds like an ACL, probably. God bless Jordan Bell. Sorry to hear that. This must have just happened because it's December 26th. So speedy recovery, Jordan. Sorry to hear that. Patrick Williams, day-to-day with illness. Ugh. Hope you feel better. Yaki Kawamura, konnichiwa. Day-to-day lower leg, December 26th again. Noah, without the H. Esseng, injured reserve shoulder. Does not sound good because we're talking November 29th. So hope you get better, Noah. And sorry to hear about the out for the season knee injury to Jordan Bell. Speedy recovery, Jordan. And yes, that is sincerity, of course. Comparisons, the Bulls are 8th in the league in scoring. Almost 120 a game. Impressive. Field goal percentage, 10th, so they can definitely score. 3-point percentage, 9th. 3-pointers made, 10th. Huh. They're also 4th in the league in assists. Again, a stat I don't always bring up, but when you're like top 5, you should probably get some recognition for that. Defensively, rebounding, they're 8th. The Bulls are good in a lot of stuff. Turnovers are 17th. Block shots, 17th. Assist to turnover ratio, 10th. So they're good in some things and not in others, as you'd expect from a team with their record. They're standing. Kobe White, rumored to come to the Wolves in some conversation, but he's missed a number of games, so watch out for that. About 21.5 points, about 5 assists. Josh Giddey's averaging 9 assists a game and almost 9.5 rebounds. 20 points. Giddey's been wonderful in Chicago. 40% from the floor and almost 50%, or 40% from three-point range and 48% from the floor. Nikola Vucevic, getting a little older, but man, I still like him a lot. He's awesome. 49% from the floor, almost 80% at the free throw line, which means something for a big guy. 9 rebounds, 3.5 assists. Nice player, 16 points, and only 0.4 blocks. What the hell? Their big blocker is Matas Buzelis. Wow. Well, he is averaging 1.4 blocks a game. He's the lead blocker. Trey Jones coming off the, kind of rotation guy, you could say. Yeah, he gets plenty of minutes, about 27 a game, 5.1 assists. So they do move the ball around quite a bit in Chicago. The Bulls. Trey Jones is also averaging 52% from the floor, but he can't make a three, 28%. Of course, watch him scorch him against us. Just you watch, right when I say it. Oh, boy. But, yes, obviously a winnable game, but this is one of those obnoxious trap games that have come back to bite us about 100,000 times over the years. Like, how many times have the Wolves lost to a mediocre Bulls team in Chicago? Again, like I said, about 100,000 times. Especially Zach LaVine going off for like 35, 40. But Zach LaVine's on Sacramento when he got hurt playing against us last time when I was in attendance. Zach LaVine left that game. Rudy Gobert left for personal reasons, apparently, such as I have no freaking idea. And as long as it's nothing tragic, none of my damn business. Anyhow, it really isn't. So I don't get it. I don't really, doesn't concern me as long as it's nothing too serious. What am I saying? Again, this reeks of a trap game. Watch out, in this one. That's all I got to say about that. I'm kind of scared, actually, going into this one. But I think the biggest trap game of all is next. They never win there, damn it. This could be a really nice week, and it could be an insanely frustrating week. Imagine losing 2 out of 3 in this week. Imagine losing 2 out of 3. Both one to the Bulls, one to the Hawks here. But I'm going to step out in faith, say the Wolves beat the Bulls in a back-and-forth kind of game. Wolves just kind of play well. Anthony Edwards with like 35-ish. Against the Nets, I think I can imagine Julius with 30-ish in that one. Playing well, getting the job done. Chicago, I think Anthony Edwards gets like 35, and the Wolves win by a final score of like 120 to 115. Atlanta Hawks, this has trap game written all over it. They're also 15 and 16. December the 31st, State Farm Arena, New Year's Eve. Kristaps Porzingis injured for the 400,000th time. Okay, for the 45th time maybe in his career. And the Hawks have all kinds of guys piling up on the injured reserve here, or injured this, injured that. So Wolves could win, but most of these guys, except for Porzingis, not major names. Eli John Nadai, injured reserve shoulder, December 26th. Jacob Toppin, very familiar name there. Any relation to Obi? Oh, most likely. Injured reserve shoulder. What's going on with their shoulders there? Patting themselves on the back or something? I don't know. December the 26th. Justin Tillman. Sounds like a football player. Day-to-day undisclosed. Thank you for sharing. December 26th. Solomon Hill. Day-to-day hamstring. December 26th. Nafali Dante. Injured reserve knee. December the 23rd. Mohammed. It's spelled a little different. Guyi, day-to-day shoulder. What is up with the shoulders, guys? Jeez. December 22nd. Kristaps Porzingis reconditioning, injured reserve. Yep, recovering. Oh, yeah, I think from previous injuries here with the Celtics or something. That guy's hurt way too much. December the 6th. So we'll see what happens. Reconditioning on Porzingis' case. Yep. This one reeks of a trap game. Points scored, the Hawks are 12th. Field goal percentage 7th. Three-point percentage 5th. Trae Young, of course, I'm sure. Three-pointers made 11th. Assists number 1 in the league at 31.1. 25th in rebounding, 14th in turnovers, 12th in block shots, 3rd in assist to turnover ratio. Wow. Interesting numbers. Trae Young, obviously a lot of people like him, a lot of people don't like him. Where is he? Not even there, is he? There's Trae Young, averaging 9 assists, but he's only played in 8 games. Finally coming back in 27 minutes, but still 9 assists, 19.3 points. Not making his shots, at least from downtown, 27%. Overall, about 42% from the floor. Porzingis, when healthy, has been awesome. 19 points. Not only 5.5 rebounds, which isn't that great. Block and a half, which is good. About a block for Okwangwu, again, a big man there. Also 7.5 rebounds, a block, almost 16 points. Kind of one of those tough guys. Some ups and downs. Luke Kennard, Obviously, valuable role player, about 48% from the floor, 7 points. Jalen Johnson's been leading the club in scoring, 23.8. Nice. 38% from the floor and 8.3 assists and 10.5 rebounds. Jalen Johnson's been downright spectacular for the Atlanta Hawks. And, oh boy, this one is really something. Are you ready? You ready? Remember this one player the Wolves used to have that would be a lot better than Terrence Shannon Jr. right now? Let's see, Terrence Shannon Jr. or Nikhil Alexander Walker. Would he be averaging about 33 minutes a game here? Probably not, but maybe if he played like this. 45% from the floor, that's okay. It's great. About 37% from three, that's still pretty good. 20.3 points a game for Nikhil Alexander Walker. He's been an outstanding addition to the Atlanta Hawks. 3.5 assists, 3.5 rebounds. I mean, not every number jumps out at you like, holy crap. But, you know, with him averaging 20 points a game, about 3.5 assists, that he's playing great defense as well, and being a headache for other teams, shooting guards and small forwards, maybe even power forwards as well with his length. He's an outstanding player. He's really developed into a really, really nice player, and the Hawks are thrilled to have him, I'm sure. Big loss, and it's unfortunate. Would love to have him back versus what Terrence Shannon Jr. has done. Terrence Shannon Jr. is definitely not what a lot of us thought he was going to be. At least he's not yet. Maybe he still can be, and he has every right to be that player. But it's not even a conversation. They're not even on the same planet right now. Nikhil Alexander Walker and Terrence Shannon Jr. So this is a tough one for us, definitely. I can imagine Nikhil Alexander Walker going out for 25 plus in this game. Reeks of a trap. The Wolves never win in Atlanta, historically. I could be wrong, but historically, the Wolves almost never win in Atlanta, whether they're a championship contender or one of the bottom feeders of the league. Like all those years ago, I remember the Wolves had the Hawks beat many, many, many moons ago. Mookie Blaylock at point guard for the Hawks. Obviously, so post-Spud Webb days, Mookie Blaylock was a wonderful player, but clearly things were, as the Wolves were winning that game, it was kind of like the Denver one. Like we had them beat, and everything just went south. Next thing you know, Mookie Blaylock was playing keep away, and the clock expired, and the Wolves lost by a basket, basically. And he couldn't believe what was happening. It's like, you've got to be kidding. We lost that game? This was all the way back, like 94-ish, around then, when the Wolves were, it was pre-Garnett era, or maybe Garnett was a rookie. Pretty sure it was pre-Garnett era, though. It was like the year before. So Daniel Marshall, guys like that, Tom Gugliotta trade, somewhere in those days. Because I know the Salty Sea captain was still the coach at the time. That would be Bill Blair, God rest his soul. It's like when the Wolves were bottom feeders and when the Wolves have been championship contenders or a good playoff team, respectable playoff team, playing in Atlanta has been a nightmare forever. And the Hawks win this game, unfortunately. Final score somewhere along the likes of how have the Hawks played lately? And I didn't even look at the schedule. I apologize. I did everything else. My bad. This is obviously the season opener and then the season finale because it's in the East. February 9th in Target Center. 7 p.m. The Hawks have lost 4 in a row. And they've been getting their butts handed to them, too. The Spurs, 152-150 with Chicago. A couple of epic battles here recently. Crazy. Bulls won both of those. Interesting. They lost to the Hornets, too. The Hawks. So, we'll see. I just got a crappy feeling in this one that the Wolves don't win. And I'm going to probably stick with that for now. It's going to go to OT, something stupid like that. 125 to like 124. It's going to be really close, and the Hawks emerge victorious by a point versus the Timberwolves, much to our chagrin at the end of the day. With that, we'll take a quick break, and there should be a little bit of fan interaction this time around. And we are back here on Timberwolves Explosion, segment number 3. Yes. At TWolvesEX. And all the other information should be in the show description. The Instagram, which actually I had it, and I guess I didn't. Don't you just love that when you think your phone is open, but it's not? I hate passcodes, but it's like you almost have to have them in this day and age. Sorry about this. Just distractions, and it's annoying. But, okay. I just want to pull up the Instagram if that could be humanly possible. Timberwolves _ explosion. I always get it mixed up, like Brave the Wild _ MN. Yeah, that's the one that throws me off. Timberwolves _ explosion. Of course, Facebook.com / Timberwolves explosion is out there as well. So do check those out. And follow, like, and interact if you could. That'd be great. Bear mentioned me in a tweet. That's interesting. Wonder where that came from, but I'll give him a follow. Thank you. Where did this come from? Some kind of conversation back like about a week ago here. Where did this come from? I have no idea. I don't know how my name got put in there. My Twitter at TWolvesEX. If this would be Wolves, I guess if they trade for a player like IO, then they're right there and can win the West. Score North, John Krasinski, TWolvesEX. Thank you for including me in there. With a bloated roster, you got win. You got to win those moves on the margins, and Rob just hasn't hit yet. That would be again Rob Dillingham, of course. So we'll see how that turns out. Interesting. Ayo, huh? Interesting. But we'll see how that all turns out at the end of the day. Thank you so much, Vince Germano, for retweeting the most recent episode. And then I tweeted out basically how the Wolves fans are thinking around Christmas time. Hopeless Wolves fan says, and locally I do believe, says if the Wolves can't handle a Denver team missing 3 starters, then what's the point of all this? Yeah, it was insanely frustrating. And I was like, this is dumb. When Denver was making everything and we were missing shots and everything went south. ALBJ4 says 6 of 26 from 3. Just brick city, leading to easy points the other way with multiple dumb fouls by Rudy. Agreed. Continuing from ALBJ4, Randall inside isn't working. Yeah, I was like, what the hell happened? Shooting almost 60% inside the arc, but just continuing to jack up threes and hitting 25% isn't working. It's like, you're dead on with that. I should have interacted more with him. I think I did say something, though. Yeah, I said, and it's just general bad basketball. Jacking up threes is lousy. Yep, and they like that, I guess. Yep, back and forth. So a little bit of conversation. Things looked promising for a while for the Wolves, and then ultimately it all went kind of south after that overtime period, and I ranted about that in the first segment. With that said, I hope all of you had a Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa if you celebrate those. And yeah, New Year's is coming, and yay, woohoo. I'm not a huge New Year's fan. I've mentioned that about 1,000,000 times in this show. Probably not in the minority when I say Christmas is better than New Year's, though. It would surprise you how many people act like it is, that New Year's is better. But with all of that said, thank you so much for listening to the show, and hopefully the Wolves can win all 3 games. I think that would really be beneficial. No doubt about it. Obviously, winning is winning. But even more so, these are teams that are inferior to the Timberwolves, and the Wolves winning all 3 would be, well, I don't know. It would be. Well, it would make a huge difference in a lot of ways. A nice 3-game win streak would help going into the new year. So, wow, I actually care about the new year sometimes. With that said, thank you so much. Please do put a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or any other app that allows you to do so. Follow the Facebook page, the Twitter /X if you could. Please, and then interact with me. I know you're out there. Please do. Tanae, Levi, hope you guys are doing all right out of New Zealand. Benzo in the Bronx. Really appreciate you. There's so many others out there, that it's like I'm blanking. It's like I know you, I love you, I hardly hear from you anymore, and it's a bummer. Obviously, Vince Germano, I love you to death. Hope to hear from you more and more, interactions and such. Hope you had a Merry Christmas there in Australia. And, yeah, that's kind of where we're at. So, if you want to call in sometime, anybody, Vince Germano, Danae Brown, Levi, Benzo, anybody, basically pick up your smart device, open the free voice recording app that's on every smart device there is, press record and talk away, and then when you're done, save it and share it to PaladinoLive@yahoo.com, PaladinoLive@yahoo.com, or PaladinoLive@gmail.com. Both will work, and I will then convert it into an MP3 file thanks to CloudConvert.com, which does a great job for me for converting files into JPEGs or, of course, MP3s, depending on what I'm trying to do. So that's why I'm willing to give them a free plug. With that said, thank you again so much, and Happy New Year, and we'll talk to you in 2026.